My name is Kelly Crull, and I am the author of the Black Mambas, the world's first all-woman anti-poaching unit. This is the story of a courageous group of women who protect animals from danger. One of the things I absolutely loved about making this book was I actually got to go to South Africa and visit the Black Mambas park rangers in person. And I got to see all of the different things that they do. I got to go on night patrol with them and ride in the back of their truck. I got to walk through the reserve on foot patrol. We got to sweep the bush for snares. And the best part is we just got to see so many different animals out in the wild. So you might be wondering what inspired me to write the Black Mambas book. So that story actually begins when I was little. I remember as a young child that I loved animals, and I also was very concerned that we were taking good care of them and that they were protected and that people weren't hurting them. At the same time, I loved to draw and I loved to do crafts, and I thank my mom because she always made sure I had all the materials I needed so I could do my projects at home. As a grown-up, I found out that the Black Mambas won the United Nations Champions of the Earth Award. That is a really important award that is for the entire world, and they won it. And so I wanted to learn more about these women, and I found out that they were the first women to become park rangers in their country. They were the first women to create an anti-poaching unit. They had found a different way of protecting the animals that didn't include them using guns or weapons of any kind. And they loved kids and spent a lot of time visiting schools and teaching kids that they didn't have to become poachers when they were grown-ups, but they could actually do other jobs that would help to protect the animals. And one of the things I love about my job is that as a photographer, I get to go and take pictures of the people that are in my books. And so that meant I was actually going to get to go and meet some of my heroes in person. So maybe you're wondering how I did the research for the Black Mambas book. I have to tell you, I love doing research. This is one of my favorite parts of making a book. I'm naturally a learner and a curious person, and every book that I make, I get to just geek out and learn a lot about a topic, and I think that is so much fun. And part of it is I like to look in all kinds of different ways to find information. So I love YouTube videos, and there's a lot of YouTube videos about the Black Mambas, so I watched basically every one that is out there. I also like to watch documentaries, and there's a couple of different films about the Black Mambas and also about other women's anti-poaching units. I love to listen to podcasts. I love to read articles online. There weren't any other books about the Black Mambas that I was aware of, so that was kind of exciting to be thinking about making the first book, or at least the first children's book that was featuring the Black Mambas. And then I took all of that information home with me, and there was so many notes and so many things going on in my head. And so to organize that, I created a mind map, or sort of like a graphic organizer, where I started to say, you know, all of the kind of main different parts of their job and parts of who they are, and then in each one of those titles on my mind map, I started to add in all of the little information that I had gathered. And once I had that mind map, then I started to put together a story. I was on night patrol with the Black Mambas park rangers, and I was in the back of the truck with a bunch of the rangers, and they were shining their flashlights around in the bush looking for poachers. And then the truck came to a stop, and one of the rangers leaned over and she said, "There's a leopard over there in the bushes." So I was looking over there trying to see if I could see this leopard, and I just couldn't see it. They were all pointing at it and talking, and then I asked the ranger again, and so she told me more specifically where the leopard was. As hard as I looked, I just could not see the leopard. Well, I'm a photographer, and of course I wanted a picture of a leopard in the wild, so I just kind of held my camera up in the general direction of the leopard and took a bunch of pictures. Well, when I got home and I was looking through the thousands of photos that I took on my trip, sure enough, there was a picture of a leopard. It was definitely not the best picture I've ever taken. It was just kind of the blurry outline of a leopard, but it was a leopard. And I think that was the most amazing thing about being with the park rangers, was they saw things I just didn't see. They call themselves the eyes and ears of the reserve, because they say their job is to pay attention to the animals so that they can protect them. And I really think that that's something that I want to do too. And maybe you do as well. I want to start learning the names of the animals that live in my neighborhood. I'd like to know, to pay attention to the things that they like to do, where they like to go, and hopefully, most importantly, so that I can take care of them and protect them, so that I can be a good neighbor and make sure that they're healthy and safe.